Some wise man or woman many years ago said that the best bridge between hope and despair is a fantastic night's sleep. And when we're talking with Dr. Ada Ikako and Dr. Peter Labi yesterday, a neurologist and a psychiatrist, they spoke expansively about the consequences of not having a good night's sleep. In fact, Dr. Ikako described what's happening in Nigeria today as an epidemic. Francis is exploring the limitations that work against getting a good night's sleep and working with experts to provide solutions for all of us. Francis tackles challenges and brings forth solutions for a great night's sleep.
In an attempt to make ends meet by all means, people drive themselves on less sleep, not knowing that there is a symbiotic relationship between sleep and productivity.
For you to be asleep, there has to be those elements for you to say that you're sleeping, because your eyes have to be shut, your body has to be in a relaxed muzzle position. There's usually no response to environmental stimuli, or you can be woken from it, but when you're in a sleep, usually you don't respond to somebody walking past sometimes, or you could. And then there's a wake aspect to the sleep cycle. Every living thing has sleep as part of their routine or who they are, because it's there for survival reason. And sleep gives the body the opportunity to, recuperate, to take a break.
Feeling tired after a night of too little sleep may leave one feeling unmotivated to go to the gym, go for a walk, or do other physical activities you enjoy.
A lack of sleep will impact on your productivity. A lack of sleep means that you're going to be waking up, firstly, tired. You might find yourself really sluggish, and you may not be able to do the things and get up as good and as healthy as you need to do. That means getting to the workplace or going to school, you might find yourself unable to concentrate. You might find yourself just dozing off. You might find yourself not even in the mood to interact with anybody or do anything that you need to do. So would that affect productivity, be it at work and in school? Yes. You might find yourself beginning to depend on substances to help you, and that could lead down a path that is very unhealthy. You might get yourself getting into behavior that can be counterproductive. Unhealthy behavior, like you can get irritable. When someone is talking to you, I don't want to talk to you. You can get angry, and those are behaviors that can have quite a negative impact if not managed well.
Along with nutrition and exercise, taking care of your sleep is one of the pillars of health. You spend about 1/3 of your time sleeping.
How many hours of sleep is best or recommended for an adult? Between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. If you fall within the category, you're within a 24-hour period, then you're getting yourself some good time to rest. You're getting your body some good time to breathe and take some break and to recuperate and to come back. If you sleep at the time you're supposed to sleep, you would not find yourself maybe sleeping in the morning or in the afternoon. So the best time to sleep is at the night time in your routine when you feel sleepy. The life that we live, when you have to be in traffic for a long time, for people that live that far, you may not be able to get as much as you need. And you could be okay. But then the next person, that would hit them hard and that will make them suffer. So at the end of the day, it is recommended, but then you need to also understand what your body requires and what works for you. There can be too little sleep and there can be too much sleep. We're talking about insomnia and hypersomnia. So insomnia is when there's like a minimal sleep, you're not sleeping for long, you're unable to even initiate sleep or sustain sleep. That's the extreme, that's one extreme. Then the other extreme is with hypersomnia, when you're just sleeping for way longer hours, way longer than the 9 to 7 recommended for you within a 24-hour cycle. So you're sleeping longer. You can even be sleeping in the daytime. Some people, they can just sit down here and they're off, and they're sleeping in a time space perhaps when it's not very productive to sleep at that time. When you're working in the office and you're sleeping, then that's counterproductive. Sometimes in mental health, when our clients report that I'm just too tired and I'm sleeping too much, we begin to look into other things like asking questions around depression. We look into things that ask questions around substance abuse, around anxiety. So for us, that can be a sign that there's something.
Despite the importance of sleep to physical and mental well-being, you may find it challenging to get enough quality sleep each night. The impact of poor sleep can be felt in all areas of life. Therefore, the sleep habits you follow each day can have a positive effect on how well you sleep.
Have some form of sleep routine. Maybe it could be before I go to bed, I'll have myself a nice cup of green tea or a nice cup of Milo or a nice cup of something that would help me relax, a nice warm cup. Or it could be I'll have a warm bath, whatever it is. Or I'd have a cold bath, or I'll exercise. So have some form of routine that helps you quieten your mind. Avoid caffeinated drinks. You know, at night when you come back home, you want to relax and take Coke and take maybe coffee. Those things are stimulants, so they keep you awake. They keep you alert. They don't help you relax. Avoid distractions. By distractions, when it's time to sleep, what do I mean? Your cell phone. That is the one distractor that most of us as adults have. We want to press and check. Television. Those things are quite distractions when we need to sleep. It's important to turn it off. I encourage people to look for aids, maybe like meditative music or very soft music that can help them and sleep.
Your health should be your priority. Hence, the importance of paying attention to your sleep pattern cannot be overstated. Weekend Deal today is captioned Lifestyle and Sleep.
Great of you, Francis, to delve right into the meaty matter, which is preferring solutions. If we don't sleep well, then what can we do well? And it behoves us at this point to perform optimally on a daily basis so we can stay relevant and organized. Yesterday, we heard about different solutions, and Francis and his expert continued with that today. Solution provision is not ended because sleep can be bought. You can't borrow it. You can't go and hire or rent it. You just have to sleep when you need to sleep. But let's talk now about sleep disorders. We do hear that there are different categories, and that's why Uri and her team have been paying great attention to that so they can throw more light and so we can further gain understanding. Uri, take it from here, please.
In Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa, sleep disorders have been reported across various age groups from infancy through adolescence, and in some cases can develop into a long-term problem with the elderly population.
Sleep is one of the most important aspects of our life that keeps us physically and emotionally balanced. So if there is a disorder, it means that the sleep is not taking effect properly. There are so many sleep disorders, but there's what we have identified as the key most common ones. So you're looking at conditions like insomnia, then you are looking at conditions of what we call night shift disorders. This occurs mostly before people who are on night shift duties, like the medical nurses, people who have to sleep at odd hours. And then you have what you call leg restlessness. You're trying to sleep, but your legs are just moving rapidly or frozen or uncontrollably. And then there is what we call narcolepsy. Snoring, those are other things. Sleepwalking is another one, although it is very rare. But you see, somebody is sleeping, and then he is but awake. Some people will wake up and be working, but they are still sleeping. It should take us at least 15 minutes by the time you go to bed and from the time you go into sleep. But if one is narcoleptic, that is narcolepsy, he goes bed within, not bed, he's sleeping like this, he's talking with you like this, you find him falling asleep. That is narcolepsy. An abdomen fall in sleep. That is not normal. Biologically, there are some dysfunctionalities of the body, especially with hormonal disruption, or hormonal imbalance. There is what we call the hormone of sleep. It is known as melatonin. That is the hormone that actually sets up for us to keep up with what we call the circadian rhythm, that is between the day and the night, that our body recognizes. And if you watch it by the evening, when you see that the sun start going down, then melatonin production starts. And melatonin production picks up from 10 p.m. and it goes up at that peak till 12 midnight. From 12 midnight, it plateaus to 2 a.m. Then from 2 a.m., it starts dropping. By 4 a.m., melatonin is gone. So if you don't sleep between the hours of 10 p.m. and and then 4 a.m. when melatonin is really gone, you are missing what you call your melatonin cycle. There is what we call the quality sleep. But if you are practicing a wrong lifestyle, you will see that you are not having quality sleep. So you see that you will invariably be having a sleep disorder. And some of these sleep disorders or lack of sleep is due to certain just nutritional deficiencies.
Okay, like that stone now.
What do you then do to make sure that you have proper sleep? The number one thing is to consult your doctor, and the doctors, when they investigate, there are specialists, there are sleep doctors, sleep disorders specialists. They put you through a test that you go in that place. It is like a semi hotel. You go, yes, sleep test. You go in for 24 hours, you are monitored. They put all sorts of electrodes around you. They are monitoring your breathing, they're monitoring your blood circulation, so they'll be able to pin down what is responsible. So sleep studies are very, very important. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, we don't have many of those, but in specialist hospitals or teaching hospitals, they should have sleep studies, department that will investigate the cause of your sleep. With this, they were able to see why you are having what we call sleep apnea, or you are having any of these, disorders. You should prepare to sleep. That is to say that establish a routine time, bedtime that you go to sleep. From our discussion, you know that the best time to go to sleep is 10 p.m. I see people jogging at night. It is wrong. Empirically, nighttime is the time that the body is preparing itself to rest. Here are you kicking, exercising, and enhancing the metabolic activities. But unfortunately, not many people know this. Do not eat heavy meals at night just before you go to bed. It is advised that you stop eating your dinner should be by 6 o'clock.
Nigeria, being a peculiar country, comes with its stress level, which naturally makes sleep the last thing on an average man's mind. But this shouldn't be, because sleep is a natural remedy for the body and soul.
When you make a routine for night rest, it can really help to a large extent. We also learned from Dr. Peter Alabi yesterday that we should give our last meal and bedtime 4 hours. So eat 4 hours before you go to bed. And many of those who sent in word were asking, how is that really possible? Oftentimes when we're working, people eat on the go. As I'm driving home sometimes from work, I'm eating right there at the wheel. And when I get home, it's time to prepare and then hit the bed as soon as possible. But what we should take seriously is that don't isolate any sleep challenge and say it's going to go on away on its own. We have brought to the fore that if it continues incessantly, you need to seek wise counsel. And in this case, wise counsel is medical intervention. And they say they are just a step or a call or a visit away, as we have shown on the program, and we'll continue to show you today. Wouldn't you like to listen to some soulful ballads? Well, that's why Amuta Stone is here. Amuta, how do you do?
Good morning.
Great to have you here with us.
I'm glad to be here.
I do know the kind of people who say that when they have some kind of music towards their bedtime, it helps them to relax, grow calm, and eventually they can shut their eyes peaceably.
Yes,
and
music
have
helps
a good
me.
night's rest.
Yes.
But there's something unique you're bringing to the table today.
Yes, I
Can we
am.
get a piece of it?
Okay. Why do you doubt, my darling? Why do you doubt, my dear? Why do you doubt, my darling? Why do you doubt?
Amuta, you don't want me to start my rest, that's my nap, that will lead to my very soulful sleep right here. That was quite engaging. I like it, and I'm sure many people that listened also like it. You know that we heard yesterday from Dr. Ada Ikako that 3 to 4 days without sleep can lead to psychosis. That is different kinds of or inexplicable behavior. So why do we doubt that your soulful rendition can lead to restful sleep? Well, my doubt is fully cleared. But a group of people that are still taking medication because they think that is a more gainful solution, we are telling you there's a plan B, or perhaps you can call it plan A. But Amuta will come back to get more soulful rendition. We will take our feature now, sleep and medication. Some of us have had to take drugs. But now we see this. It sounds nice, right? But let's see this feature from Lagos.
Sleep is an important aspect of human life. It improves the total well-being of an individual when engaged appropriately in a conducive environment. Sleep deprivation is affected by both internal factors, which includes stress, pain, mental health issues, sleep disorders, while external factors such as light, jet lag, sleep schedules and patterns, caffeine and alcohol, certain food, and medications.
The most common is insomnia. Insomnia is, do I have difficulty falling asleep and difficulty maintaining sleep? So if you find out that you're having one of those, then that's when you talk to your doctor or you ask yourself, what are the things I'm doing that is making sleep difficult for me to initiate and to stay asleep?
Medications. An example of sleep external factor is the use of sleeping pills to calm the body down in order to have a decent sleep. But what should an individual bear in mind before taking sleeping pills?
Sleeping pills are actually chemicals. These are chemicals that came out of production of sedatives. We medical professionals are actually not encouraging the use of sleeping aids because it does not induce sleep. It actually sedates you.
It can be used for two purposes. When somebody is having sleeping disorder, which is known as insomnia, it can also be used for medical and psychological problems, which include confusion. It also includes fatigue. So it can also be used for post-surgery management.
Who are those likely to use sleep pills, and what are the cost effects when depended on?
Anytime your lack of sleep is causing other medical conditions that could be life-threatening, then you need to be on a sleep medication. One of the most common side effects is it affects your respiration. When you are sleeping, that's not when you want 800-pound gorilla sitting on your lungs. That's what this sleeping medication will do. Not to talk about the human error of overdosing. And the last one is tolerance. The first time you take a sleeping pill, that's when it's most effective. Next day, you're going to be chasing that effect. You are not going to get it. And that's where most people make the mistake of increasing the dose. Where the more dose you increase, the more it has effect on your respiratory system. And that's the case of Michael Jackson.
When administering the sleep pills, what is the appropriate age to consider when it comes to children?
Sleeping pills are contradicted in children, especially those that are below 2 years. And if it must be used, it must be done under the supervision of a physician.
Medically, the American College of Pediatrics have said no to that. Why is that? So most of your children, we're talking neonatal, children who are just few months old up to the age of 2, they are still following their mother's calendar. They're still following their mother's circadian rhythm, like when they're in your womb. And they sleep the longest, 14 to 16 hours a day. So what we need is to change the routine for them.
So, how do we derive sleep naturally?
Absolutely. So there are 4 stages of sleep. The very first one is when, quote unquote, you are in la la land. You're dozing off, but you are still conscious that you are not in your bed. And if you're left there, you may now go to stage 2. Stage 2 is the initiation of muscle paralysis. Your muscle is about to go down, that you are getting into real sleep, but you are not there yet. Stage 3, your muscle is gone, you are paralyzed. Anybody opens the door, you are not aware. And stage 4 is where you start having the rapid eye movement. You are not conscious of your environment anymore. That is essential because it's only in stage 4 that your body does the cleaning mechanism we call lymphatics, when your brain cleans out all the dirt you have used. And the take home is this: you cannot avoid sleeping during the week with the intention you're going to catch up on weekend. It's not possible. Physiologically, it's a no-no.
If you are regularly having trouble either falling or staying asleep, make an appointment with your doctor for a much more effective approach and treatment.
Okay, if you're having challenges getting a good night's sleep regularly, which we've come to learn, a good night's sleep is 7 to 10 hours every day, seek wise counsel, medical personnel who can help you. First of all, they may need to determine what your routine is like, and then they begin to prefer solutions. We've heard something from Amucha Stone. She's going to tell us how her jazz rendition is going to lull us to a great rest. But first, let's introduce our psychiatrist, Dr. Segun Shuyombo. Is a consultant psychiatrist and is here to add his voice to sleep challenges and their solutions.
Good morning. Thank
Great
you
to have you on Weekend Deal. We've met before, but today is a real big deal on the deal because we hear that over 50% of Nigerians are not getting regular night rest. We've come to learn about some parts of the why, but our focus today is on limiting the challenges to an extent where the more obvious thing will be solutions that will actually have great impact. But Amucha will first give us another rendition. Jazz this time, you say? And it has lulled people to sleep in the past?
No, it helps me sleep.
It helps you. You have to tell us more than you.
Yeah,
Anyway, Dr. Shuyombo, let's hear this. Let's listen to this together, okay?
Okay.
Many thanks, Amuta Stone. Great. He's got his own. Dr. Olusegun Soyombo. What did you think of that rendition? I know you've got your own opinion, your own direction, your own profession. But were you to listen to that just before bedtime, do you think it will make some impact, bringing you to a restful state where you be calmer?
It's been a wet morning in Abuja. One would have gone on to a second round of sleep, even though it's morning. Lovely rendition, Amota.
Thank you.
But for now, we can go on a short break. When we come back, revitalized and rejuvenated, we will continue our talk about challenges with our night's rest and then prefer more solutions. Don't go away. Well, great to have your company as always. Yesterday, we talked about lifestyle and sleep, and we got to learn that your lifestyle, good or bad, will impact your night rest and your entire life as a whole. Today, our focus, challenges, disorders, solutions. At the end of the day, if you do not rest well, you can't perform at optimal capacity. Amuta Stone has lent her voice to our conversation today with some jazz rendition. Dr. Olusegun Soyombo is here. He set the tone as well. And let's introduce Dr. Nancy. She has joined us. She's also a consultant psychiatrist here in Abuja. Great to have you.
Thank you very much.
So many medical people. My head is buzzing. Wow. But the viewers, please listen. We're getting expert-wise counsel. Just a moment, we'll come chat with you, Dr. Soyombo. We said something before the break about, is it every time you can't sleep, you begin to look for a doctor's number, reach out to one to get to know what's up with you? Is there a point we should get to before we say, let's seek a doctor's advice, counsel?
So absolutely not. For us to say someone has a sleep disorder, the disturbance must have been on for a while. It's something somebody would have experienced at a minimum about 3 times a week, and if they have been ongoing for about 3 months. So what that means is that all of us from time to time may experience difficulty sleeping. That is nothing to be alarmed about. So you slept the whole year, then one night you have problems sleeping, you shouldn't be running helter-skelter looking for a medication or for a consultation. However, if it happens repeatedly and then it affects your functioning the day after, so you see people, they don't sleep, they have headaches, they are irritable, they are sleepy at work and all that. If you begin to have that kind of interference, then absolutely it's time to seek help.
We should seek wise counsel. We will talk in the course of the conversation about how we can access online help. There must be some expert advice online because everybody is online these days, and we know that many people don't go that extra health mile to seek doctor's advice. They say out-of-pocket spending. You know, at this time, they're not looking that way. Dr. Nancy, lend your voice. Someone is asking about sleep paralysis. When we hear paralysis, everybody's panicking because we know what it can mean if it's long-term. Is it healthy to experience sleep paralysis? And what exactly does that mean?
Okay, so sleep paralysis actually is a medical condition, a sleep problem. Okay, so it happens when an individual is sleeping, but then is about to wake up, and the person actually wakes up, but then the person is unable to move their body. They are paralyzed. That's how the name came about, sleep paralysis. So, and how does that come about? You know, in sleep has stages. We have the REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, and the non-REM sleep. And in the course of a night's sleep, we go through the cycles of moving from non-REM sleep and back to REM sleep. So in non-REM sleep, how it is designed, how God has made it really, and how it functions biologically, in non-REM sleep, we can retain our muscle tone, okay? And the brain is trying to recover, helping us to really recover our body physically, our heart function, bodily functions are being renewed, you know. But then in REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, that is when you can see the person having the eye twitches a bit, and also there's dream. You can have dreams in that phase. But then you have
dreams or nightmares?
No, dreams. You can actually have normal dreams in that REM stage of sleep. But then it has been so designed that in that REM sleep stage, okay, when you are dreaming, you don't have body tone, as in you cannot move your muscles. Okay, why? Of course, if somebody is dreaming and is moving their muscles, they start fighting their neighbors, start fighting their dream.
So this sleep paralysis is an acceptable part of sleep?
No. I'm getting to the reason why you get sleep paralysis. So now, in normal REM sleep, okay, you are dreaming, but then you cannot have muscle tone to act it out. So if they have a disorder in these stages of sleep, okay, the person is waking up. So not ordinarily in REM sleep, imagine someone wakes up while they are dreaming, but they can't move their body because the body does not have muscle tone. So usually occurs in people that have disordered sleep patterns. Maybe they slept too late and they're waking up. So ordinarily your body just goes through normal cycles of sleep and then wake up gradually. Then you begin to regain your muscle tone. So imagine waking up and your muscle tone has not picked up. You understand? As the muscle tone means like moving your body, your muscles are able to move, you can move your hand. So imagine you're now waking up now and then your muscles cannot move. You are awake, but then I can't move my leg. I can move my hands. That is so scary. So it only happens to people who have disordered sleep patterns.
But how often can this happen before you seek medical advice?
Okay, so usually once it happens to you once or twice, it's actually a very simple thing. It can be self-cured by yourself at home.
Tell us, please.
By sleeping regularly. Sleeping an amount of sleep that you should sleep. They should have
hours having a
of
sleep
sleep.
routine
Yes.
that'll give you healthy.
Yes, because
night
you should be able to go through 4 to 5 cycles of sleep from non-REM to REM per night.
Every night.
Imagine if you sleep around 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. you want to get up. Your body has not even passed through those cycles. So really they're trying to distort the brain pattern. That is why you can wake up when you should not wake up. And then you're already awake, but then you cannot move your muscles because there's a disorder in that. So
for many of us that do 9 to 5, 9 to 9, 9 to any time, you know, having an appropriate or regular time to eat is not has not been feasible, because sometimes you may eat at work, eat on your way home, not even eat at all, but they are still desirous of great sleep. How can we bring all this to the table and get a workable, realistic solution?
okay, so I would say that the most important thing as regards sleep is a personal decision or choice to say, I want to sleep well. Where there's a will, there's a way. Realistically, most people find it difficult, right? Imagine those in Lagos, you leave home early, come back late at night and things like that, or, you know. So, or sometimes we really easily find excuses for not sleeping well. I have work to do, okay? I have to finish this email or whatever it is I want to do. So really, but the personal choice to say, I want to sleep well. My body needs to sleep well, okay? We'll go a long way to start trying to make arrangements now, trying to replan, organize your schedule to be able to fit in your hours of sleep. For example, most phones these days have like digital well-being and healthy apps. How many of us get to use those things on our phone? We have like nighttime mode, for example. Most people are on their screens so late at night, television, phone, that emits blue light and even increases your level of cortisol and makes it more difficult for you to actually start sleeping. So the effort to even say, okay, because once it's 9 p.m., my phone is already on dark mode. Anything I'm doing, I'm trying to wind down as a choice you're trying to make. Some people say, okay, on weekends, now, it's weekend, TGIF. They don't think in end, they might even sleep less on weekends than even on weekdays,
Definitely.
right? Because in their
out
mind,
time.
we feel we have time, it's weekend. In the end, they might just hang out the whole night past their bedtime, okay? And of course, sleeping late, watch all those series,
But you can do that once in a while. Let's be realistic.
Once in a
People
while.
go out and they stay out late.
But let me tell you something. If you see the gravity of the effect of loss of one night of sleep, it is amazing. I saw a study that even you can detect a DNA damage just for one night disrupted sleep. So that's high risk of cancer we are seeing today. So if you really value your sleep, you can actually watch a series in the afternoon. Of course, you can hang out maybe 9, 10, you know. But of course, having a regular sleeping wake schedule is important for your
But I mean, once in a
sleep
while.
hygiene.
Once in a while, you can hang out.
Once in a while. But then when it becomes a norm for some people, after work every day, they go and drink
every
and
Friday.
go home.
Because
Every
that
Friday, go and
TGIF
drink.
means something.
Of course, it means
It
something.
means time to paint the
Sometimes
town.
people relax, and after a while, the next morning they're actually tired and groggy. Of course,
But they expect it. It's expected.
Yes.
But it's when it now continues to hamper
Yes.
you, even when you are not doing TGIF. That's when they come to you. Because if I stay out to the hours of the morning, I know that I'll be sleepy and groggy and tired the rest of the day. It's expected. But if it continues to reoccur, even when I decide to arrange my schedule, that TGIF is once a month or once in 2 months.
Once in 2 months.
But there are some people who do it every day, every Friday,
and for them,
that's when it's harmful.
And for
right?
them, they are still fine. But there may be some years down the line, they come with anxiety and depression, and they wonder where they come from. because poor sleep pattern regularly usually can lead you to mental health conditions.
Indeed.
Then you now really have a mental health breakdown on yourself, really,
Indeed.
and require
Indeed.
treatment for a longer time.
Wow. Okay. We need to go to Jos at this time. We like all what we're hearing is really giving us more enlightenment, more insight. You know, some things you isolate, say is a small thing. If you cannot ignore that small thing, it could someday become a big thing. We're going to Jos now, where they have focused on tips for sleeping better.
Sleep, which is directly related to health and quality of life, is a basic need for a human being as it improves physical and mental health.
Sleep hygiene, it's an attitude, it's a kind of habit, a kind of condition you create to enable you sleep better.
Restful sleep has the ability to improve productivity, mental health habits, and physical well-being with good environmental factors being adjusted to help have a good sleep hygiene.
Ambience of the room actually is number one when it comes to sleep. Sometimes, we have this issue of taking care of our sitting rooms, but when it comes to the bedroom, we neglect it. But I think that the bedroom is number one. There are quite a lot of beautiful natural things that could help when it comes to sleep. I always say this, before you try medicine, orthodox medicine, the best is for you to try alternative medicine. That is herbal medicine, particularly the ones that are authentic and well formulated. And then of course you have herbs for massage that can send you to sleep. You can have a beautiful herbal bath with the water filled with calming herbs and so on. There are quite a lot of herbal things, that will help you sleep better.
For you to have a good sleep, you have to combine ginger, garlic, clove, turmeric. This combination, and possibly if you have a chamomile, it could be in Lipton form, it could be in a natural form, fresh leaves. Now, if you want to use clove, if not in powdered form, you use the dry one. Now the dry one, we advise that you cook it very well, because the more you cook it, the more the content of it will absorb in the water. Now when the content has been absorbed, you now put it in your cup. Then you add the already mixed ginger, garlic, turmeric. You add it in it. So you add honey to it and take. It's advisable you take it after meal in the night.
A healthy sleep habit or behaviors, when practiced, can improve a better sleep with the following sleep hygiene tips. Set a consistent sleep schedule. Create a relaxing bedtime. Keep your room cool and comfortable. Avoid large meals before bedtime. Get regular exercise.
There are quite a lot of beautiful natural things that could help, when it comes to sleep. And a calm environment with sound of natural, beautiful birds, waterfall, all those natural environments actually help you, sleep better.
There are a lot of psychological effects of bad sleep hygiene. First of all, there's what we call in psychology mental health. Now, lack of sleep can make you have brain drain, reduce your mental health, makes your brain not to function properly. But the good news is that there are a lot of positive benefits of sleeping hygiene. The first one is it improves your memory. Now, when you sleep properly, it improves your memory. It helps you to be able to think fast. It helps you to be able to produce things. It helps you to be able to calculate things. Now, another thing is it improves your immune system.
Good sleep hygiene can increase chances of healthy life, which in turn has the ability to improve productivity, mental and physical well-being. Therefore, establishing and practicing good sleep hygiene leads to a good quality of life.
When we're talking with Dr. Nancy some minutes ago, she said we have to be intentional about desiring a great night's rest, and just has assisted us to push that argument forward. You have to be intentional to make these tips become a daily habit such that you can rest well. Because when you don't rest well, it has a negative impact on everything you do. And sometimes those you come across, you will not be able to relate well. Your communication skills are at an all-time low. Mentally, you are affected. Your ability is affected in thinking, in production, all round. Dr. Shiombo, you said you wanted to add your voice to TGIF?
Yes, especially because you kept advocating that once in a while. Absolutely, people should have fun. That is allowed. But you see, there are many things that surround sleep. When people hang out late, remember that they are not just hanging out talking alone. They are drinking, they are eating. And all of these are the things that you've talked about in previous features. People shouldn't eat late. Even alcohol, even if people cannot stop taking alcohol completely, they shouldn't be taking it so late at night. So that we need to develop healthier, fun things. People can hang out. Why not hang out over lunch? Why not make it an early dinner rather than staying out that late? Because once you disrupt that cycle, sometimes it's difficult to get it back. Okay? And then what are the dangers? The longer people stay, the more they drink. Then the more road accidents you have, the more physical health conditions you have, and all that. I just wanted to chip
But we
that
do know that
in.
there are a good number of people who are very interested in progressive talk, building the nation well, and sometimes they have discussions late at night. And they may not be taking alcohol. They're discussing about how to push a contract forward and impact Nigerians in the best way possible.
And we think that is unfair to women, because that's why women don't play actively in the political space. How many women will be out having a political meeting at 2 a.m., at 12 midnight? Let us do everything we want to do in the daytime.
So lunchtime is what suits you. When it gets to dusk, wrap up your meeting.
The
jury is still out on that, because for some people, it's working well for them.
No. Sorry, I disagree with that. It does
not
not
working
work
well for them.
Only very few people actually can sleep less and still function. Only very few in the world. Most people have to sleep 7 to 8. It's affecting you, but you don't know how it's affecting you. And you're trying to cope every morning, coffee to be able to stay awake and do your work. So really, I think, of course, we should not normalize what is not normal. If people have meetings at night, it is not normal. So it still should be called abnormal. So that we can try to think of how to adjust it and adapt and make changes,
so
right? Lifestyle changes.
What's the safe time to wrap up meetings? 10 p.m.?
You know that once in a while,
10 p.m.
I'm sorry to cut you. You know that once in a while, you might have extraneous circumstances that will make things drag. That is fine. It just shouldn't be a regular.
When I'm talking about TGIF, I said once in a while. I know there are those who have formed the habit and do it every Friday, and sometimes even a few days as well in the week, and they say they are functioning well. But what we are reminding them of today is that it may seem that they are functioning well now, but in the long term, there are disastrous consequences. Is that it?
In the short term, there are,
even as we speak.
Yes, even 1 or 2 hours less of sleep in a day per night has daytime consequences for most people. If you click a history taking, ask them questions, you see the consequences that are very clearly there. But they're getting used to trying to manage it and trying to work around it.
It's not easily noticeable.
Imagine at work, they're getting tired and want to put their head down. That is work hours, losing money for their employer. You understand?
But I didn't read somewhere that little matter how healthy you are, you need to get a power nap during the day. So even when you don't have a sleep disorder, that 30 minutes of rest is ideal.
Okay, so you know what? I can say that if you experience regular sleep for days, then you can now be able to tell me how does it really work out. Okay, for example, I personally do sleep 7 or more hours every day. I make efforts. Sometimes it's not possible, but sometimes it's possible. But then I really need power naps. Because even if I got a bit tired, it just passes very quickly. I've been very stressful. And of course, at night, after an extensive day's work, very active. At night, you are tired and you know that I need to rest.
Dr. Shuyombo, sleep and diet. Is it important to watch what you eat, when you eat, how you eat?
It is important. What you realize is that most of us know our own bodies. You know what you eat that affects your ability to sleep. But on a general basis, what we advocate, as we've said repeatedly, is that people should not eat late. There should be 3 to 4 hours between your last meal and your bedtime. So typically people should not eat beyond 6, maximum 7 p.m. Now, even that, you should eat in small quantities. And I always tell people, you see, we eat too much in this part of the world. You know, when we go to those, this is a television now, they'll say we're advertising. You know, there are those kind of restaurants and hotels you go to, and they give you small food. When they bring the bill is big. So when they ask you, do you care for more? You say, no, I'm okay. That's the kind of food we should also eat in your house.
In your home.
Small quantities.
Let's form the habit.
Per time. You get used to it. Initially, it will be like a problem, but after you get used to it, it will no longer be a problem. Now, why should you eat small quantities and why should you eat early? Heartburn is one of the reasons why people have difficulty sleeping at night. If you eat late and you eat heavy, you are likely to have reflux and have that heartburn that keeps you uncomfortable and unable to sleep. If you drink too much water in the evening time, and that takes us back to TGIF, whether it's water, whether it's alcohol, whether it's malt, too much fluid intake at night time will make people wake up frequently to use the bathroom. And sometimes you go use the bathroom, you come back and you can't return to sleep. That sleep has been interrupted. So those are the ways in which diet affects our sleep.
Yeah, let me also add to that.
We want some, Justin, we want some real life examples about the patients you are seeing and the impact your consultant psychiatry is making on their sleep life. We would like to hear real life examples. Is it viable for me to come to you? Can you really change my life? Can you make it better even if I want to be intentional about it? Let's go to Lagos for now. Sleep and exercise. What's the impact? What's the role of exercise? Please share.
Sleep is a natural process for every creature, including humans. Sleep affects growth and stress hormones, our immune system, appetite, breathing, blood pressure, and cardiovascular health. During sleep, the body works to support healthy brain functions and maintain one's physical health. Inadequate sleep over time can raise one's risk of chronic health problems. Studies have shown that proper exercise can alleviate sleep-related problems and help get an adequate amount of rest. Researchers also believe insufficient sleep can lead to lower levels of physical activity the following day. Therefore, experts believe sleep and exercise have a relationship.
Lack of sufficient sleep can influence a person's health, such as the increased risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure.
Exercise is used to improve health, maintain fitness, and it is a very important treatment method for physical therapists. Exercise gives various health benefits.
Being physically active can improve your brain health, help manage weight, reduce the risk of disease, strengthen bones and muscles, and improve your ability to do everyday activities. Adults who sit less and do any amount of moderate to vigorous exercise gain some health benefits.
Exercise is crucial for supporting your metabolism and burning more calories per day. And also it will help to preserve muscle mass and weight loss.
Factors known to influence sleep are circadian rhythms, general health status, and exposure to bright light.
The best way to achieve sleep through physical activity or exercise is by doing moderate aerobic exercises as a minimum. Anything over and above moderate aerobic exercises would further increase sleep. As little as 10 minutes of aerobic exercise can improve the quality of sleep. Having said that, exercise often leads to fatigue and maybe even body pain, especially for beginners. So it's important to sleep. Restful sleep helps people recover from exercise or workout sessions, allowing them to work out more regularly.
Exercise intensity type of exercise, and the time in relationship to sleep are important contributing factors to the sleep response.
As far as sleep is concerned, quality and quantity matters. Adults should ideally sleep between 7 and 9 hours a day. When is the best time to exercise? As far as exercising for fitness is concerned, you can work out any time of the day. But with respect to exercise and sleep, early morning and afternoon exercise have been found to have the most beneficial effects for people looking for improved sleep quality. Exercising at night may negatively affect sleep quality because of its impact on melatonin, which is a hormone that helps with the timing of sleep.
Sleep is as important for good health as diet and exercise. Regular exercise can help healthy adults sleep better. Regular moderate exercise can extend sleep duration, improve sleep quality, and decrease sleep onset, which it is the time it takes to fall asleep.
But like what we're also learning, you have to be intentional about the what, about the where, about the when, about the duration as well, so that you don't do the right thing at the wrong time. Dr. Nancy,
Yes.
let's put all our thoughts in a precise order and make impact on those who have been watching us.
Okay, so I'll say that lifestyle is a choice, choices you make and type of life you actually value. You value your health, your physical health, your mental health, and that will make you want to make plans for proper sleep. Even trying to watch what you eat, trying to be in a normal weight range for your height and everything and your age and all that will help you prevent obesity. That also help to prevent other kinds of sleep problems as well. Okay, so I know that it's actually a choice we need to make. And of course, it's not just on the part of the individuals themselves. Even their employers, for example, workplaces need to stop normalizing overwork that make people deprive them of sleep hours. They go home very late and they're back at work the next morning. That is just like trying to pay with their lives, with their health, their mental health. And of course, people are so irritable and angry everywhere on the streets. And we're wondering why. When we don't take care of our lifestyle, we don't choose healthy things that we want to do to help us.
Are you making positive impact on the patients that you see? Are they being intentional about turning their lives around? Do they realize the negative impact of prolonging sleep disorders or isolating them?
You know, so indeed, we started with a real life situation when I talked about patients with young people who are now doing crypto, forex trading and staying awake to study. If we now look at the workplace, a lot of the patients we see have insomnia that was caused by their work schedule. So you have employers breathing down people's necks, especially certain kinds of jobs, personal assistants, security details, and all of those things. They wake up very early, they close very late, they are on the move, they are traveling here and there. So we need to begin to consider flexible work schedules. We need to consider hiring more people to make the work more bearable. Then we on our side may also consider maybe taking a pay cut for them to hire more people. Many people will not like that. But if you don't have to work 12, 15 hours a day, you know, do your 8 hours, do your 6 hours, let somebody else come and do the rest so that you can have your peace and you can have your rest. Ultimately, all this money, all these things we chase will pale to insignificance when a serious health challenge comes. So we need to sleep, we need to exercise, we need to spend time with family. All of a sudden, one day you wake up, you're 60, you retire, children are estranged, wife is estranged, husband is gone, and then you are lonely. And you can't sleep with all your money. So we need to look at all of these things. Flexible work schedules, more hands on the job, and then people should stop attributing long work hours to efficiency. It is actually inefficient. The fact that you came at 7 a.m. and stayed till 9 p.m. is not the reason why you should be the best staff of the year. Actually, you are the worst staff, because if you do your work efficiently, even as a boss, please, it's 8 to 5, 5 o'clock, go, switch off the generator, switch off the NEPA. There are some people that if they don't close, their secretary cannot close, their driver cannot close, their messenger cannot close. So we need to address all of these. Are real life situations that affects people's sleep, people's quality of life. I know the unfortunate thing, those people will go home with driver, escort, security. That driver will drop you in Wuse 2 and then
start
it's
scrambling
to go to Yaya
with
on his
his
own.
house. Okay. As intentional as we want to be about our health, let us think of all those who are associated with us. Let us have the same positive thoughts for ourselves. Let us also have it for them too, because when they succeed, we also succeed. Thank you so much, Dr. Olusegun Soyombo, consultant psychiatrist, and Dr. Nancy. Okay, Nancy,
Consultant
Ojinta.
psychiatrist, yes.
Indeed. Are you from Ojinta's sister?
Yes, yes.
Interesting. Great
My
to see
sister-in-law.
you.
She's my
Oh,
sister-in-law.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Great of you to come to share your experience with us on the NTA. We're learning together. Thank you so much for making the time. You're watching Weekend Deal, Lifestyle and Sleep, Challenges and Solutions. We're on the mark so we can make the best impact on you. A break beckons. We'll be back. Don't go away. We've come to the end of our package today. There's little doubt in my mind that Godwin has got a great night's rest. That's how he can stay enthusiastic and excitable every time. We've loved your participation in our program the past 2 days, Lifestyle and Sleep and Challenges and Solutions. They say that a good night's rest is what ties health, to our productivity every day. Make sure you prioritize your rest. It's in the best interest, not just of yourself, all those you associate with, and in fact, for our great country, Nigeria. We've given you the best of what we can do at this time, getting expert advice from our psychiatrist from yesterday and all through to today. It's time for us to relax and unwind as we sail into a fantastic new week where we are sure you prioritize rest every time. God bless Nigeria. Amuta.
Leads to only one thought, and it's this, the obsessive bond. Nothing else can replace just your slightest embrace. And if you only want, oh, be my own for the rest of my days, I will whisper this phrase. My darling, sassy bond, sassy bond, toot 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 toot, sassy bond. Breakfast in bed, when you smile at me, when you hold my hand, it's so good, it's so good. Sassy bond, sassy bond. Oh, L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one.